if the development goes through, I think it's going to be a really sad state of affairs here on the North Shore. I think it'll never be the same. It'll really lose the country feeling that we have out here. I think it's going to really disrupt the harmony of this community. The more that we develop, I think the more we take away from the beauty of these islands and what people actually come here to see. The North Shore is such a special place that the majority of the people that live on this island actually come out here during the weekends to get away from the city and to experience the beauty of this coastline and to hang out on the beach. And it's sort of it's a retreat for a lot of people that live here from their daily life. And we get a lot of visitors from all over the world that come here to see the surf. And in my opinion, this area should be preserved as a national park. I mean, the resource that's out here is very valuable. And if you start squeezing condominiums and hotels along this stretch, it's going to have a huge impact on the environment. It comes down to, is the development necessary for this community? Is it necessary for this state? Or is it just necessary for somebody who's hanging out in Boca Raton and has shares in the development corporation? They may not care about this community. All they may care about is what the return is on their stock at the end of the year. But there's a whole group of people here that live out here, that love this community and love the beauty of this coastline and want to keep it the way that it is. I'm hopeful, but I know it's going to be a very big uphill battle. You're talking about a development corporation that's got their eye on millions and millions of dollars in return, and I don't think the community can actually come up with those types of funds to be able to purchase the property or or to keep fighting it forever in court. I mean, that's my hope, is that we can fight them in court to a point where they just give up, or what I think would be more just would be that the state would step in and actually be accountable for the mistake that they made years ago and revoke the permit. The world's getting smaller and smaller by the minute, as the population grows, and everywhere seems to be under the threat of development. And I just think that you have to do it in a responsible way. And when you're out there in the ocean at Pipe, it's one of the most incredible experiences ever to ride a wave out there. And the second best thing when you're out in the water is to be able to look in at the mountain range, and see the beauty, just take in the beauty. I think that's part of what is so special about the North Shore, is you just see a few scattered houses along the coast here. It's still got that country vibe to it. Well, the KeepTheNorthShoreCountry.org and the DefendOahuCoalition.org are both coalition groups that are opposing the Turtle Bay expansion project. The state handed out a permit back in 1984 that basically had no expiration date to the environmental impact statement or to the permit itself. That permit allows them to build 5 hotels and 1,000 condominiums. Obviously, things have changed since 1984. However, the infrastructure hasn't. They've done nothing to repair our roads, to provide an alternative road to get in and out of the North Shore. The water lines are in disrepair. The sewer lines are in disrepair. The schools are under a tremendous amount of pressure and in disrepair in some cases. And unfortunately, the state is sort of not making good on the fact that they made a huge mistake. I really I pray that the generation of kids that are growing up out here get to experience similar type of upbringing that I've had, and generations before me have had. It's nice to keep the strip malls out of the North Shore, and there's Waikiki. They can have Waikiki, and they can have Ko'olina, and they can have Ka'anapali, and they can have all the other places where there's strip malls and 5 hotels and 10 golf courses, and but to to me, it's there's certain areas in the world that are very special, and they offer something that is really, really unique. And I think those areas need to be protected.
Our first bumper sticker here says, Pupuke'opamalu, open space for all, 100% protected. And this is just sort of like a, yay, the good guys won one. And this Pupuke'opamalu preservation effort just inspires me so much, and I hope it inspires others to, you know, preserve the Turtle Bay and all the land around it. People getting organized, people voicing their opinions, people going to meetings, people signing petitions, people going to rallies, people donating to legal causes. It takes all those things, but it can be done. They wanted to do a housing development of sorts in Waimea Valley, and the community banded together. The state got involved, the federal government got involved, the local municipal government got involved, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs got involved, U.S. Army got involved, the Audubon Society got involved, and it just takes interesting and strange bedfellows sometimes to make things happen. But preservation can be done. Next, A'ole, no Turtle Bay Resort expansion. This really says what Defend Oahu and Keep the Country Country is all about. That's it in black and white with a little red. We think one hotel is enough there. And the possibilities of what can be done with the land around Turtle Bay are just absolutely limitless. But to continue to go down the road of, you know, development for tourism and hotels and limited beach access, I don't think the people really need that. So A'ole is a strong, emphatic no way to Turtle Bay expansion. Keep the country country. I'm not talking about country music. I'm talking about trying to keep the land, what's left of it on Hawaii, sort of green and rural and undeveloped. And like I say, via our website, we've been selling these bumper stickers across the country, around the world, and the message is kind of universal. I think people are realizing that green space, open space, agricultural lands are very important to our health and welfare and to our survival. And you know, once you pave them over and put up houses or malls or what have you, it's going to be really, really hard to get those back. So whatever people can do to keep their, whatever is in their area sort of green or natural, I say, you know, get on that bandwagon and do your bit to whatever it is to sort of keep what little bit of green space from being paved over. Thanks.
It's been pretty rewarding to be part of all the different preservation projects out here on the North Shore, because I think there's a lot of communities that are willing to say what they don't want. You know, something comes along and they protest the things they don't want. But I think the North Shore has been very successful in going and stating what they do want, and then taking the years and the energy that it takes to accomplish a project, whether it's the Pupuke'opamalu preservation or, you know, fighting this battle in court with the Turtle Bay development, and spending the time and the energy and the resources to actually follow all the way through, and not just wave your fists and say we don't want this, but then to go ahead and follow through. Finding, my wife and I started up the Kokua Hawaii Foundation, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, and I never as a kid thought I would start a foundation like that or anything, but I think what it had to do was growing up in Hawaii and having these really amazing experiences out in nature, and a lot of camping trips with my dad, my mom, and my happiest times in my whole life being in these situations where we're camping on outer islands and didn't have anything around us except for the valleys and the ocean, and getting these really significant experiences out in nature at a young age, and developing a really profound respect for nature at a young age. And then later in life, when you learn the realities that energy is constant, and the amount of energy that we put back into nature is going to be what we're giving to our kids, next generation. And so I realized that it was a responsibility that I felt as somebody who had a spotlight on me to be able to shine that spotlight on things that are more important than me. And I felt in Hawaii it was, with all the developmental pressures we have here, the fact that 85% of our food is shipped in or something like that, a big number of our food, a big percentage is actually shipped into Hawaii. It made my wife and I start thinking of how can we kind of draw attention to some of these things and maybe start to send the kids on field trips, try to give them those same experiences out of nature at a young age, teach them in a fun way about recycling, about local agriculture and food miles, all these different things. So really, what I feel like I'm best at doing is taking that spotlight and shining on these people that I've met along the way that have a lot of knowledge about these things. Because I don't pretend to be any specialist on things. It's just, I'm in a lucky position where I get to kind of draw attention to things that I think is important. And I feel that being able to raise funds to support all these things, that's probably the best thing I can do, is be a fundraiser for these nonprofit groups, or for if there's something like this, you know, Turtle Bay development that's coming along, or any preservation project. I can always help to raise funds for what's needed for the project, you know, to the lawyers, or if it's just bringing up awareness about it. A lot of different things. You know, sometimes money's needed for these, so I can always help to raise funds through the music. I think that Hawaii has more potential than anywhere else in the world to be a leader in renewable energy. And I think, I mean, a lot of people talk about this. It's not new information, but I'd just be one more voice in support of putting as much energy as we can into renewable energy. Just meaning we got wind power, we got wave power, solar power, geothermal. We just got everything here, you know, that we could, and it could be a microcosm for the whole world. It could be a place where we harness so much energy from these natural resources. And I think it would just be great for the economy in the long run, and it'd be just great for the environment on so many levels. It'd be really beneficial. So I think focusing on renewable energy here in Hawaii is really important. Any way you want to look at it, you want to look at just for the people who live here on Oahu, to have a place, whether you're in the city or out in the country, everybody needs a place to escape the city sometimes, be able to go and enjoy the land, enjoy the ocean, be able to get away from the hustle and bustle. And so every friend I have that lives on every part of the island, all the friends I have don't want to see development in certain areas. You know, it just seems really just common sense. And then if you look at tourism, people aren't coming to Hawaii to be stuck in just an endless city. You know, people are coming to Hawaii to be able to enjoy the beautiful natural part that it has to offer. And so I think preserving those areas, keeping them best developed, is just beneficial for everyone. An environmental impact statement that was written or done when I was in 5th grade, you know, barefoot over at Sunset Beach Elementary School. And I can tell you, because I've been here the whole time, that things have changed enough. The road is much more crowded. Anytime there's any kind of event, every weekend now, it's gridlocked along the road. It's a whole different thing, you know. It's just a different place, and things have changed in that amount of time. So there's no reason that an environmental impact statement, everybody has kept. It was blowing all of our minds that they could be going off that. So it does feel so rewarding. It's nice to celebrate tonight that our court systems do work sometimes, and that, you know, it actually came out on the side that seems justified.